Bitcoin goes to zero, which it possibly could. As the market started to crash, they became afraid.
Bitcoin plunging by almost 30% to $31,000 earlier today, raising all of its gains since Elon Musk first announced Tesla's investment back in February. We are off the lows, though, of the session. You were looking at a nice V there. Julian Emanuel, BTIG Chief U.S. Equity.
Now, after a Q&A statement on China's central bank website said that all cryptocurrency-related transactions are illegal. This is what's going on across the board here. We got Bitcoin down close to 5%. We got Ether off over 8%. We got Litecoin over 9%. I mean, you're seeing it a push across the board. This, according to a Bloomberg report, it's in line with some recent actions China has taken to crack down on crypto, including banning businesses and banks from providing services for crypto and shutting down crypto mining.
You're talking about this, but I'm looking at this. I mean, 34% on it. I'm looking at the significant fall in the cryptocurrency.
Bitcoin is now down 23%. Declared a top.
Ether is down 40%. No, it's the Chinese.
Saturday Night Live.
It's the Chinese, Jim.
Oh, well,
it's the Chinese.
Musk and China.
They've tightened the restrictions that ban financial institutions and payment companies from providing services related to cryptocurrency. We've got to tell people here.
We've got a Bitcoin alert, the cryptocurrency crashing again right now as China calls for tighter regulation around mining and trading. The headline taking down the rest of the crypto complex. Bitcoin is now down more than 20% since Monday. We also get the Biden administration in one of its proposals saying that if Bitcoin is used in a transaction that's greater than $10,000 worth, then it has to be reported to the IRS, which would make it difficult for Bitcoin to be used for larger transactions.
The asset itself is creating nothing.
I think it's a scumball activity.
I would short it if there was an easy way to do it.
So there you have it. You have Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. One of them was calling it a scumball activity. The other saying, Bill Gates saying he would short this thing if he could.
There's a lot of fake news out there. So I love Bitcoin. I almost bought it, I think it was 2017 when I was at 20,000. But I didn't, and I'm going to say this much here, okay? This is real financial education, what they don't teach you at school. So there's three kinds of people in the world when it comes to money. There's an investor, a trader, and a speculator. I am an investor. So the moment I started buying Bitcoin, I wasn't a trader. A trader is somebody who's going to buy it and sell it. A trader, like in real estate, is kind of a flipper. They buy a house to flip it. That's what traders do. And a speculator is a gambler. And I would say most people who are chasing Dogecoins and all this other stuff and Bitcoin, and they're speculators. They're all kind of gamblers hoping it'll go up. That's not what I do. So don't say, oh, you hate Bitcoin. No, I think you're stupid. That's what I'm saying, but it doesn't mean I hate Bitcoin. Okay, so don't be a speculator, because those are gamblers out there. And real financial education should include why Bitcoin and gold and silver are going up and down. And one is because in 1944, there was a thing called the Bretton Woods Agreement. America had basically won World War II against the Japanese and the Germans and the Italians. So in 1944, at Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, the US government promised we will back the US dollar with gold. But as you know, the US lies a lot. So everybody in the world says, okay, we'll accept the dollar because it's as good as gold. So I wasn't born yet. And 1971 is when a man named President Nixon broke the promise. And the dollar came off the gold standard and it became dead. So the reason we have all this volatility with the Fed and the Treasury and Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all that is because of what happened here. So what happened in 1964, I started buying silver. I was 16 or 17 years old. And in 1972, I started buying gold at $35 an ounce. But in 1971, it was illegal for Americans to own gold. And I was a pilot in Vietnam flying for the US Marine Corps. And I thought it was really strange that it was illegal for an American to own gold. So I became suspicious of the Federal Reserve Bank and the Treasury. So when I meet most Bitcoin investors, They don't trust the Fed and the Treasury either. Bitcoin guys, they're, you know, what's this big? Their minds are that small. I was just in Cancun, Mexico, and there was several Bitcoin millionaires in there. And they're all trying to get me to buy more Bitcoin. I said, why? It's high. You know, that's like me buying Apple stock. It's too high. You know, I want to wait till it crashes. So anyway, the reason I want to do this is because so many of those young guys out there about your age, they're Bitcoin millionaires. But as the market started to crash, they became afraid. And the reason for that is because they got rich being speculators. They got lucky. You know, they just happened to buy 10,000 Bitcoin at $1 each, and now they're multimillionaires. But as it comes down, and the reason they're afraid is if Bitcoin goes to zero, which it possibly could, I'm not saying it will, they're wiped out. So all you Bitcoin people out there, this is what I do. I save gold, I save silver, I save Bitcoin, Ethereum, and bullets.